Well, we get back into things right away. Map 2, nuke. Everyone thought G2 would be up by 1 at this point in time, and they certainly are not.
They did not turn up today at all. But like Yakko said, in history, French sides don't normally turn up in the first morning game. They need a little bit of time to get some coffee in, you know.
It's true, actually.
Have a bit of breakfast, and they'll be okay. So I'm expecting them to bounce back. The problem is, oh, hello. The problem is they need to. I thought Inferno was them, just like all day long. I didn't think they'd be dropping that map at all. I thought it might be a bit closer, but still, that was very convincing for FaZe. Moving on to Nuke, considering the kind of form they're presenting today, all 5 players are turning up. We haven't seen that all tournament long. They're actually looking very good, and I feel like they could get this 2-0. G2 need to wake up right now.
Yeah, they could actually turn this around. And the weird thing was, when I sat down and looked at it last night, and I thought, okay, look, G2's having the tournament of dreams.
Yep.
Great group stage, finally arriving. And I thought, there's got to be a point when they get to a challenge, which they haven't had much of so far.
You weren't getting on the hype train as much as I was.
No, and I'm the kind of guy that, like, you can have 1 or 2 good games. Like for example, I said Rush and who was the other one I said at the time? I think I said Stanislaw.
Okay.
No, I said Nafly could have breakouts in 2017. Everyone was like, well, they already broke out. For me, I need more. I need consistency.
Go.
It's like saying with the Astralis era. Well, the era's got to go for a period of time. So it's the same thing with G2. It's great that they're having a good event. I can get hyped about that, but I can't fully get behind the consistency factor yet. And I knew at some point they would be challenged. Whereas FaZe, they already had a decent run at Katowice. They've been improving, and they haven't been in this tournament at all. At some point, they've got to show up. It's just statistics.
Sure, it's very easy to get caught up in all the romance of G2, like obviously all the legendary names finally together and showing us amazing form in those first 3 opening best of ones. But now this is where it's really crunch time, right? They've got to play best of 3s against some of the best teams in the world. FaZe, after beginning the finals at Katowice, managing to actually show up today and show us that Rain can actually perform in this tournament. He's been absent all tournament. Alu has been okay, but this was an MVP performance from him in the previous game as well. Inferno proving to be one of his absolute best maps. I've said it so many times now. He seems to be dominant on that, winning clutches with the AK, aces and pistols, and finding amazing form in the AWP on the CT half as well. So if he can continue that form towards Nuke as well, it's going to be difficult to see him being shut down. Shoxy, for me, hasn't really been in this map so far. We've only seen 1 so far, right? So he can always bounce back, but that's one of the worst performances I've seen from him in a very long time. Is this the knife, presumably? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Be a weird pistol round like that.
Yeah, all 5 outside, walking around with nades in their hands. We got some shadow daggers for NBK. They were all the rage. There is a different draw speed on the knives. Someone posted that.
Yeah, and when you pull out the shadow daggers as well, actually tilt your screen a little bit when you pull them out.
Yep. It sets the crosshair slightly off still, I believe.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's, but I think it's the bayonet is the slowest to draw, and the flip is the quickest. Is that right? Flip?
Something like that. It's
like
like 0.1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
It really doesn't matter.
Consistency valve. We need more of it.
Anyway, who won the knife round and all that?
Don't know. Didn't watch.
Well,
couldn't tell you. I think G2.
I think G2. So this is one of the maps that, when it first came in, was actually very CT-sided when people were still working out the player. Obviously, the options there were more options for the teams to actually step up and actually get towards heaven quicker and have the options of secret as well, the smokes. It's starting to be a very balanced map overall, and you can see the huddle coming in there from FaZe.
Well, it's FaZe indeed that's in the huddle, and them with it all to do if they can show up in the same form they did last time. I mean, to be fair, that game could have gone such a different direction the way it started out. The back and forth affair with the economy, the 2 pistols won by G2, or the 2 eco rounds rather, to be specific and more clear. That could have gone the other way very quickly, and I think FaZe actually benefited from the way that all transpired to get the economic advantage and limit G2 from getting the double AWP set up sooner.
Well, to be fair, even when they had the double AWP set up, it looked poor. It didn't look as good as it was. Like, they haven't really been challenged on that so far, but the thing is in the Swiss system, right, you never know who you're going to be playing, really. You don't really have time to prepare for them, right? So that's why every time going into it, you don't know what map you're going to be playing. When you're playing a best of 3 and you know what your opponent is the next day, you can actually prepare for certain things. You know G2 have been playing Inferno, looking very good on it. Carrigan's had a chance to work out their system and say, okay, this is their tendencies, this is how we can actually prevent them shutting us down with the aggression of the AWPs. And it looked like Shoxy couldn't really get going there at all towards the B side. So this is when it comes down to it. Like in best of 1s in the Swiss format, it's easy for them to run away with games. And now this is the true test going forward as to whether they can be a dominant force as to what they've shown so far. Huddles look like they're expired, and it's going to be FaZe on the T side and G2 studying, I guess, on a slightly favoured CT side, depending on which way you look at it. Nico's looking jovial. They've had an amazing first map, so we'll see whether they can continue that form going into the second one. This is one of the maps as well Rain's really, really good on. So strong on the CT side. We'll see whether he can continue that form. Obviously, Alu, amazing performance in the first game, I should say, and he'll be AWPing against KennyS as well. KennyS had some decent rounds, but See whether he can step it up here just when G2 need it.
So G2 CT. What's your opinion on knifing for sides in a best of 3? I think it should only happen on the 3rd map, personally.
Yeah, I think whoever picks the map, you play the opposite side, right? That's the way it should be. If it's your map pick, you go on your least favorite side first. I think that makes sense, and then you're absolutely right. In the 3rd map, you do a knife. I think that makes sense.
Well, G2 has had the benefit of starting CT side both times on 2 maps that are still CT sided to some extent.
To some extent,
Not as bad as they used to be. But that said, they also lost the CT side in Inferno.
Yep.
Certainly can't afford to do that here. So we'll start now. Armor on everyone except Kerrigan. So 9, 5 CTs. And then the 1 smoke for the Ts to try and execute with Rain and Alu to start it off. Nico and Rain
Good Lord.
to close it out. Not entirely. They've still got Kenny to find, but a 1 versus 4 as he drops down to the upper site.
Yeah, that's pretty much over, Matt, I'm afraid. He's got 4 kills to find. And although the bombs are planted and he's got a silent USP, he needs to be hitting these shots. He's going to stand any chance. Can't land it. There's 2, though. Out of nowhere, Alu and Kerrigan go down. The bomb will be planted. He's got a chance in this. Nico does shut it down in the end. They got a bit exciting there as the player was planting. If Nico goes down, that's all of a sudden a 1v1. Oh, that could have been very problematic for FaZe, but they managed to recover.
Recover indeed. And therefore, it is their pistol to win. Indeed. A little bit sloppy, but like you say, they still manage it, and therefore find Stead to take this forward again with economy in their advantage. They need to avoid what happened on Inferno, and therefore being eco'd right now. Yeah,
they tried to push towards lobby and the hub position, but it's shut down by those Glocks. Left, right, and center. Will be the force buy here return, and it's a very similar tale to what we saw on Inferno. The Eagles 5-7 CZs. It's a default round, but actually towards ramp that FaZe will be focusing towards, making its way towards heaven. That's Alu. They need to be careful of the refractor. That's a problem for FaZe in most of these anti-eco rounds, not being able to have refract potential, getting a bit ahead of themselves. So look what they're packed up right now. Apex will be trying to get something in return. Got a bit of damage towards Rain, but that's about it. And he's actually going to get good information there, Apex. So they're going maybe back towards the lobby here. Oh, I thought he was going to nail that shot, but has to fall back.
Gonna fall back into the dark spot, it appears. Or at least close to it, so he can peek the ramp and then fall in that direction if he needs to. Retreat in that direction. No rotation yet toward Turnpike. Shocks is still going to stay at heaven instead to watch Outer, just in case they do head that direction. But the Deagle as well for the long-range shot.
Well, 35 seconds. Looks like the upper will be the final commitment here. MBK of the CZ could cause some damage. Gets a couple of tags in, but looks like he will be overwhelmed at this point. Only got 1 bullet left in his CZ. It's going to be the first 2 kills for FaZe. Body finds 1 in return, but he'll be quickly shut down. It's Alu doing some great work here once again with that MAC-10.
Another 1 versus 4 situation to try and pull back. It's Apex this time. AK in front of him. That might be worth it on its own, but he wants to go and actually do further damage. Not only does he get a kill, he gets away because as he goes back through the hut, Kerrigan decides to watch inside where he thinks he's going to continue to push, so he gets a kill and the AK.
Yeah, so next round, you have the AK-47, drop a 5-7 over for his teammates as well. And he's got head armor, so that's not too bad for Apex. That's if he survives. He's in the most common save spot, but also one of the strongest. T-spawn. Bomb will be exploding. At this point, FaZe, it's not really worth them hunting. They know it'll be in T-spawn, but he's got such an advantage in terms of the angles he can hold as well. They know he's got the AK. So maybe sacrifice 1 player to try and hunt him down. He's only got 30 HP, to be fair. Nico, oh, I thought he was going for the X-ray. It was a bit misleading there. There it is. It will be the saved AK for Apex. So a clean round for FaZe overall. Apex made it a little bit interesting there. This has to be the full eco ready for G2. They have got an AK-47. I'd say maybe send that towards ramp. Got a lot of one-tap potential in that position. There's 1 tight choke point as well. Maybe towards outside as well is obviously another option. I'd say ramp for me would be the most viable at this point. So in terms of the buy coming in, like we said, Kenny S gets dropped the 5-7 from Apex. There's something to work with here. Not much, but maybe you can find a couple of headshots towards that ramp position where Siri decides to go.
Nico will head outer. He on the AK is one of the 2 bigger guns, if you will, the rifles. Rain with the other. And Apex, as we mentioned, saving his on the other side is going to be the danger man. Question is, do they play him aggressively and hope to win the round, or just try and put him somewhere passive to do economic damage and then save the gun and carry it over to the next after that? It seems passive is the answer because he's well towards CT. In fact, just rotating into Hell and over toward Turnpike now.
Well, for now, FaZe holding up on the default, not really giving too much away here, just trying to work out, like we said on Inferno. Just work out there's a stack going on, what kind of utility the CTs have, whether they've got armor. They know Apex got the AK-47. Just find out where his position is. As soon as you get that, and you hopefully don't get taken down by him, you're kind of focusing up towards the upper side potentially. We'll see whether he can do anything with the aforementioned AK. Kiyoshima committing, but gets taken down by Kenny S. It seems like that's a common trend with FaZe, but the sun is a reply right now from main entrance. It'll be equal exchange out for now, as Alu finds another frag. It's 1v1. He's only got 9 HP.
Yeah, Apex can win this. We just talked about whether or not he was going to get aggressive with the AK or try and sit back to save. He sat back. His teammates have done such a tremendous job. He's picked up a kill. That's all he's had to do on that AK, and he's got the advantage right now. Alu on 9 is a sitting duck near the window, and G2 pick up a round much earlier than they should have.
Yeah, towards the upper bomb site as well. With they throw a couple of Molotovs, but no real flashbangs or smoking off towards heaven there. They come out and allow the 5-7s to do some work. That was the drop 5-7 from Apex as well. It goes to show you a little can go a long way. Bit of clumsy round from FaZe to let it go there. That's why you want to be focusing maybe towards outside most of the time and not just going out towards upper. They did get 2 players towards main entrance, but it seemed disjointed once again. Similar story on Inferno. They're going out 1 player at a time. 1 goes down and there's no instant reply to the AK. If you're going towards the upper side, sit a tight choke point. Needs to be someone on your back that's ready to get the refrag if that goes down. Obviously you have a lot of angles to check. It is problematic that the CTs can be above you, but it felt like a little bit too easy for them. There's a replay in terms of the buy, but NES and MBK to open things up.
Alu will sit to watch through the box. But watch secret position because they've actually occupied that with Shocks to get the M4 at an angle that can take advantage of that. He's going to push, actually. So Alu looks that direction, doesn't realize he's there. He's actually getting closer and closer. This timing is going to be well off. Alu tries to do what he can, but not much is done. Nico at least does pick up a kill elsewhere. Body's been quiet thus far, hasn't been challenged too commonly, and now finally has the M4 in rafters. It's an important position to hold. Nico wants out as well.
Yeah, this should be almost a guaranteed round, but I said that with bated breath considering Nico is alive at this point. They still have time to work with as well. It's a 4-on-2. We have a Molotov to work with. That's about it. So Nico goes towards outside, towards that silo position. Shoxy should be going down here, but oh my god, he gets caught dropping down. Didn't expect the player to be that exposed, I guess. And then Kenny S finds the final frag. So risk eradicated to keep
I'm not sure.
Alive.
I don't think Nico even meant to drop down. I think he tried to stop to shoot and was one step too far.
Yeah, I think you're right there. GG easy for FaZe. Well, first map, to be fair, was relatively easy, 16-7. And this one could be more problematic, though, after winning the pistol, getting to 2-0. FaZe really need to start working more as a unit on the anti-eco rounds for me. Like, it seems that that's one of their flaws. And to be fair, after winning 16-7, and they lost a couple of anti-ecos there as well, it was still a very dominant performance from them. It's going to be a full Glock round here. Nico's got a Zeus. Difficult to make anything happen with that on the Glock round. We'll see whether he can do anything. Actually goes down straight away. So that Zeus is gone.
Well, that therefore means straightforward sailing for NBK as he picks up one on the M4. And it'll just be patience from FaZe if they get a bomb plant, which they may do at lower. Be a tremendous job.
That is very good.
0 investment and they get to lower. That's almost a mistake from G2 to allow it to happen so easily. Now find Alu, the last remaining, easily get the defuse. The round is won, but money gained from FaZe. 3rd round loss bonus as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually very beneficial. So that's a round they didn't bring anything to the gunfight and managed to get a bomb down. So it's an extra $800 per player if you're not aware. So we'll have a look at their cash going into the next round. Should be a nice full buy here. Alu has the option to get the AWP out. Wouldn't be the best buy for him, but that's not normally a problem on nuke, considering the AWP is not going to be very long-range duels. You're not going to be too exposed to the grenades. He will opt for the AK, though. So he's gone for smokes, flashbangs, and a Molotov. He is a very proficient rifler as well. It's one of the few AWPs we talk about that can be good with the AKs and M4s. Double AWP setup, though, for G2. That's always questionable for me on the CT side of nuke. If the bomb gets down towards the retake's a nightmare. But Shoxy getting aggressive towards the main entrance position. Looking towards the squeaky door, will probably fire a shot off momentarily. Apex decides to drop down with the MP9 and presumably go towards Secret.
Ooh, okay, both going to drop down. I get that the smoke's there, so you want to try and beat them to try and have position for this. When they do rush through, I guess it works out. But to have 2 go down that direction,
yeah,
it's kind of interesting. Shocks definitely has to try and take the up elsewhere and watch Secret from the push at outer. So they give up outer as a result of it. The anticipation correct in the fact that they wanted the vent position. NBK is going to give up ramp. Causes the rotation back toward Turnpike, or does it? Kenny's a little bit out of position, can't get there in time. Therefore, 2 players already going to make their way toward the lower site. Rain starts it off well, but MBK, good response. Bomb dropped inside of the site. Shocks to take him. Body to close out Nico. G2 looking stronger now already than in the last map.
Yeah, Shoxy starting to arrive. That's very good news for G2. 4-2 now in their favor. Loss bonus starting to accumulate overall for FaZe, but fourth stage doesn't really give them much of a buy here. They can probably partially buy into it now for maximum loss bonus into the next round. Some Tech-9s, body armor, and some nades as well. G2, after losing the pistol, going 2-0 down. That third round, not even forced by Eco, victory for them with a saved AK. This will be very beneficial in terms of cash left over as well after the reinvestment. They're all about the 10K mark, so lots of money going forward, and it will swell even further after this round. That's if they win, but Kenny S, he's finding some shots now as he takes down Rain and Alu towards outside. And it's going to be Super Kyo taking down Apex in return, but still a very comfortable round. But once again, the bomb's going down pretty much undetected. This is consistently happening and maybe a bit of a problem going forwards.
That certainly could be a bit of a problem. MBK gets his head taken off by Kerrigan. Kiyoshima goes down toward upper, and they'll start to rotate down to find Kerrigan, but he's got position at the vents for another headshot. Kerrigan on the deagle. He nearly lines up. Yet another toward Kenny. Nico to hold off this plant. 4 kills for Kenny in the round. It won't be the ace because he's already sprayed down. Nico's going to get both as he walks in. MP9 undetected. Both players have armor, but it doesn't even matter.
Can you see how that double up setup becomes problematic? You've got one defusing there with the AWP. You think he's safe, and Nico just crawls in from the vents. And the fact is you don't have that dynamic kind of flick response with the AWP. Once you're scoped in, you can watch one area. He's watching towards ramp. That's Kenny. He can't watch all the angles, and his teammate as well. Even though he gets off the bomb, he's got an AWP on his back, has to go to his pistol. Can't do anything about it. Difficult round for G2 to give away there. After finding 4 kills, Kenny S loses it to Nico. And it was pretty much a partial buy at that point. 4-3, they still have the lead here, but Shoxy fighting back once again, finds a kill onto the aforementioned Bosnian superstar. It's going to be Kiyoshima there to get the kill in response, and Apex gives another one away as well. Upper bomb's going to be very weak at this point.
So Kenny starts to work his way in on the AWP, doesn't get much inside of the smoke. In fact, gets taken down by Rain, who greets him. Lifeline for FaZe. Motivation perhaps taking over now because they have a 3 versus 1. MBK's going to try and do what he can. Squeaky door open, so an opportunity perhaps, but good response from Kiyoshima to snap to the left. And we have a tie game. And a pause immediately called by Shocks. And there's money available to them. You can see it on screen, so the call needs to be at this point, in my opinion. How to change things, but also not to go to a double up setup again.
I think that's probably wise. Like, it can be good for a couple of rounds, but as soon as the team works out, you've got it, right? That's the problem. They'll just start focusing on the upper side because it's quite rare for the AWP to go towards heaven position. You either be garage and ramp. Those are the 2 standard positions for the AWP, right? You can go towards heaven, but you're normally going to be smoked out, and I've realized you'll be isolated with flashbangs towards the upper bomb side. So as soon as they start doing that, you can see them actually exploiting it, going towards those vents, consistently going the bomb down towards lower as well. That's a great shot from Kerrigan, to be fair. MBK got absolutely rattled there. He gets a second in the vent, and this is the problem. So Kenny is watching towards ramp. He only can watch one position. Nico slips in behind. You can see Shoxy, unfortunately, has the AWP as well, has to pull out the pistol, and he gets overwhelmed by the MP9. 4-4. Sorry, Matt. You got to take it.
It's all right. That's fine. You are allowed to die. Just don't use all of your 9 lives in this cast. You little kitten. But a decent round indeed from Kerrigan and Nico combined on that particular instance. Again, the problem stems from the fact that the bomb went down undetected. Now money not only was gained from doing so, but they've built it back up. AK's all around. However, it is going to be the single op setup, and it's already working a little bit better because Body's able to take down 2. Apex, rather, excuse me, he gets 2. MBK is able to take down Alu, and that's going to leave us very, very quickly to just Kerrigan remaining. He's inside the upper side. He has the bomb, but he has no safety in trying to get the plant down. Kenny smoked off, will back off, and this is where Kerrigan really needs to start using time to his advantage. 1:30, and we have 3 out of 10 players left.
Yeah, Shocked in the bends, though. They are in a decent position going forward. Like, Kenny had to smoke himself out, locked in that corner. And, oh, that's a nice Molotov from Kerrigan. He nails it. Could actually rotate Kenny S towards Secret at that space. Just kind of feign that he's going towards lower. Actually be finishing up towards heaven here. Bomb could go down. Then it's a real problem for the CTs. You can see, Matt, they have no kits at this point. Kenny S still towards main entrance. Hasn't taken the bait quite yet, but safe plan for Kerrigan. No nades to work with there, but he gets 1 kill, especially if he takes on Shoxy. This is looking promising.
Kerrigan getting back to watch the vent as well is going to Molotov it off. And, ooh, that's Shoxy, a risk.
Yeah.
That's a huge risk. He's going to rotate all the way through ramp, which can be heard from inside of the site, to be fair, and try and get toward heaven. Question is, does Kenny hear him at all? He doesn't. But up the ladder, Kerrigan's made noise. They now know. Oh, no, he hasn't. Kenny didn't turn in time, but he's missed the shot. Big opportunity missed. Still goes. Sport drops down. Very awkward. He's going to get traded. It's just too much commitment. Unfortunately, he may still have been better to sit back and wait for the defuse, but tried to capitalize not knowing Shox was so close.
Very smart play from Kerrigan. The fact he gets towards heaven, you said there was a chance he could be heard. You could see, evidently, Kenny S had no idea, and Kerrigan panicking a bit too much. He heard the fake defuse come in, he thought, okay, that's a full commitment, they know I'm here, have to go up there, and he actually gets a free shot, and Kenny misses it slightly. If he gets that kill, I'm saying the round's over, and he whiffs it, and then that awkward exchange where he drops down and tries to say, okay, I need this one on your screen right now. And he gets a kill on Kenny S and keeps that money a little bit more modest, but he can't win the round overall. It's going to be one back for G2, 5-4 in their favor now. No AWP on the T side, 5 AKs once again, and Kenny S solo AWP situation. Thing is, whoever loses this round might be fully reset here. Both teams struggling in terms of their overall money here.
Kenny S will wait to try and use the op to watch outer. G2 went around with the single op, so they'll stick to it. Is back drawn for FaZe, who have avoided the T-sided op thus far. Smoke to cover off Annex, quick flash around the corner. Nope, Nico likes not to throw it. In fact, just goes on his own, taken down from body. Rain flashed off, can't re-peek it, and therefore Apex is able to swing and get the kill before they come in from Hut. And when they do, actually works out reasonably well in the fact that they get body, but they've lost track of the others in the smoke, and Kerrigan completely surrounded will get taken down. G2 goes 6-4.
Chance to breathe now. They'll be up against pretty much fully geared FaZe Clan. And 6-4 in their favor. Managing to keep 4 players alive as well. G2 holding off that upper play quite effectively and having the nice crossfire and Apex to finish things off. So no pause coming in from what I can see. They will be buying Deagles though. FaZe. Kiyoshima, very strong with that pistol, and Kerrigan proved his worth in previous rounds as well. So the final buy comes in. No nades, no armor, just some upgraded pistols, and G2 can't let that bomb go down towards lower again. That's becoming a bit of an issue. It gets planted consistently with no grenades really used whatsoever. So Incendiary to start to deny that potentially as well. Apex watching out for it. And Shoxy's actually getting in the vents here, or towards lower at least, just to make sure they can't sneak down secret.
Nico will wait with a Deagle to try and watch out toward A main. Excuse me. I guess it's A main in a way. Main entrance. Hole blown on the door so Nico can try and use his Deagle to good effect. We haven't quite seen that yet today. Shox will take down 2. Again, being aggressive from Secret, rotating in CT side. 3 kills in the round. There's the Deagle we talked about. Gets body at least, but consequential at this point. Up for debate. They're down into a 4-on-2 situation. Minute to work with. And Bomb is in the possession of Shox.
Yeah, well, not really much the remaining T's can do at this point. It's going to be Kiyoshima and Nico. Both very good at the Deagles, but unfortunately, they are going to be overwhelmed. Kenny S, this might be a bit of an overcommitment. Does hit Nico and wants a little bit more as he falls out of 5-7. Just gives the AWP away. There's no need to go for that frag. It's not worth it. And he drops the AWP, and that's actually a bit of a problem now. They still win the round pretty comfortably from what I can see. Shoxy getting the kill on towards Kiyoshima there. 30 seconds for Nico, but this is problematic. Kenny S needs to stop making those sort of mistakes. No need for this situation to get to this point. Shoxy with 4 kills. I'm still confident they'll finish this one off, but this has become an expensive round for them. Yeah.
Waiting for the
he could have saved the AWP at this point, right? Nico, 10 seconds, can't win the round. Might as well save the AWP.
If he repeaks, though, on this low HP, we could have Shox getting the ace. He's getting more aggressive, but that could also mean, yep, walking directly into it.
Be careful, Apex.
1 versus 1.
Yeah, it's a 1 second, though, so it's over, but there was no need.
Yeah, it's
no
still
need.
Expensive.
Yeah, well, Kenny S, if you've got 3 kills already, you have the bomb, you can see it, you're the AWPer, and why are you making the round that expensive? Pushing out, he legs a player, and he gets baited into thinking, oh, I'm going to take that one, I want a nice kill here. It's almost tilting for the team to lose that much money overall. And in terms of reinvestment, it's going to cost them almost everything to get back in this round. It wasn't really required, and they pull out that double AWP setup once again, Shoxy and Kenny S. And to be fair, I haven't been a fan of it so far. It hasn't really been that successful. They've had some real stinker of rounds, but we'll see what happens going forward. 7-4, round number 12. Alo's on the AWP himself this time. Smoke in, and he's going to be rushing towards the red crate to see if he can take down Apex, and could have a chance here.
May indeed. Raptors occupied by body as he's been pretty much the whole game. Kenny's going to start it, though. Good shot to find Nico. Apex watches outer. AK in hand, but Alu gets him back with an AWP. Kerrigan waits radio to see if there'll be any further pushes through from the CT side, but at this point in time, there will not be. And he'll hold the position until required later on in the round, perhaps. Alu continuing to try and find something. The outer position with him as well as Rain was pushed up to at least main entrance, setting his crosshair firmly upon Secret to make sure Shocks won't go back that direction. He's been a pest in that position. So very different setup, all things considered.
Yeah. Well, you have some outside presence here, but Kenny S, by the air conditioning unit, can just about see a gap there. I think he might have missed out yet. They haven't made it towards the upper side, and our body in a world of trouble here, but he will be taken down. Up to MBK to try and defend the upper side. Gets one, looking for the second as well. Should take that Alu here. It's going to be a real brawl to finish this round off, but MBK is stepping up. Now down to the 1v1 between Shocks and Kiyoshima.
That's big from MBK. They set, that was where I was kind of going with the difference in setup, is they set MBK with body that time because of the double op. The problem is that Shocks went low early. He was actually playing in Toxic while the take at upper was going on. And he has to retake again with an AWP. Kyo's going to plant inside of the smoke. Shocks will go door instead. He's hoping he can find him with relative ease on this AWP. He's not scoped in either. As soon as he does, position given away. No scope potential available, perhaps. Kyo's going to spot his leg, though. Did he get hit in that? I think Kyo might have. Okay. Yeah, okay. You're right. The HUD on the side. It's that 1v1. But yeah, good shot from Kyo. Holds it off. FaZe is going to go to 5.
So this is another example. This double orb setup, right? If you're hitting absolutely everything and shutting them down, that's great. But Shoxy, one of the world's best riflers, and he's let 2 rounds slip away now in clutches when he's got the AWP on a map like Nuke. It's very difficult unless you are doing a long-range angle and you're killing everyone outside. That would make sense. If you're killing everyone on ramp as well, you're shutting those positions down, your teammates can hold upper. Just these clutches, time and time again, letting them down at the final hurdle. And a lovely round from FaZe to finish it off there. MBK did absolutely everything he could. I think he found 3 kills in total in that upper site. And you'd think that'd be enough. It came down to the 1v1. Kiyoshima prevails. We go into round number 13. An auto shotgun comes out for Apex, a rare appearance. Eco, is that you?
Yeah.
He's the only player I've ever seen to use it on this map, to be fair.
Well, okay, consistently and with good effect. The Alligator hasn't exactly been successful for too many other people.
No.
So, awkward by G2, round 13. And a fast push from Rain. No one at Outer going to spot him towards Secret. And Kenny plays it big. Means Rain can get down into the site relatively quickly. And no one is below right now for the CTs. In fact, there's 3 pushing through Squeaky and Hut. They are getting information in doing so, which therefore means Shocks will head back toward the vent, but they are still slightly out of position. Could work now, though, with 2 players gone down, maybe even 3. No, just 2, Shocks and Body. Meanwhile, Alu clearing the garage finds Kenny. That gives Kerrigan all of the access toward the Rafters position. Catwalk wrap around toward Heaven.
Here we go, Apex. What have you got?
Ooh, might have one, but peak timing.
Doesn't even want the challenge. Just smoke it off. You can have that area.
MBK in lobby, though. Good position if Kyo walks through here and doesn't look immediately left. Worried about that ladder above. Oh, not going to check it at all, and MBK goes aggressive. Shocks actually finds Rain. 3 versus 3. Smoke off at upper. Apex has left the position, so Kerrigan's slowed a little bit trying to find it, but MBK gets caught on the ladder. Body, meanwhile, somehow finds himself outside. Low HP on Nico. You would have thought for sure he hits that shot. Instead, though, Apex last alive. Still on the shotgun, elects to keep it, gets caught in the vents, and FaZe will find 6. They keep the half extremely level.
So you had the opportunity to get the AK there, but he knew he'd be coming off a ladder, so you might as well keep the shotgun. It's not going to be affected by the aim reduction once you're on the ladder itself. Doesn't work out, and it's 7-6. FaZe pull one back. It has to be an eco for G2 here, try and save it the last round. And FaZe just doing a very good job. They knew the money would be low for G2 at that point. Orbs almost impossible for them. Work towards outside, check the garage position. Ali finds the first frag, get towards Heaven as well. And not really much GT could do about this. After such a strong lead, they can still lose this half as well. As we go into number 14 here. Pretty much full eco. USPs and a couple of P250s, no armor, no nades. And you can see Rain, he's more than happy to go take some challenges outside here. And he's actually made it all the way towards Secret already. This has been a problem, though, for FaZe in the past. These anti-eco rounds. Let's just calm things down. We've got good positional control now. We've got players in Secret. Players towards Heaven as well. Pins it together, have refrags, and you'll be absolutely fine, especially against this sort of buy. They can't really afford to lose this one.
Good shot, Alu, to find MBK behind the stairs. Again, that opens up space for Kerrigan, and this time he will find an entry at Heaven. Takes down Body. E250 shocks onto the ladder. Somehow not spotted by Nico, who is wrapping in toward the main entrance. Molotov will move Apex. Sliver between the two silos, and he can't find the shot, but he's got the headshot dink, in fact, on a rain. Repeat takes him down, and Kenny tries to flank in to catch Alu, gets a reload in time, and now he's got an AWP. Keo missing shots, has to turn back, manages it to the 1v1. But Kenny is set and ready with the AWP. Keo, not going to take the fight, just grabs the bomb and heads elsewhere. Still not planting that bomb, though. He will go for the fight. Kenny's going to clutch it back. Again. And just like that, G2 win another unfavorable round.
They went into that round, Matt, with 2 PT-50s, 3 USPs, no nade, no armor. That's kind of shocking from FaZe to drop yet another one of those rounds. They're so good in the gun rounds. They're shutting those down, no problem. As soon as they're up against the full pistols, that's when they start floundering a bit, maybe overthinking the situation. We said they had players towards Secret, players towards Heaven. That is separated, though. All they need to do is stick together and go into one position as a unit with basic grenades, and they'll be fine. Run the timer down, get that one pick, and then sit together. Maybe trying to make things a little bit too complex there. And time again, giving those really simple rounds on paper down. And we'll see what happens here, round number 15. Not the best buy for them to finish things off here. 2 AKs, 2 UMPs, and a Deagle. Upper rush coming in. That's shut down by Body.
Finally getting rolling in that position. Drops down onto the huts. Does get hit by Kiyoshima, but this now looks 9-6. Nico, the last alive, 50 HP. The last round takes it from potentially being 8-7. If FaZe had won that one, perhaps even in their favor, 8-7. And now we look at 9-6. So G2 do win the half. We said they needed to do it.
Yeah, they did. Ultimately, shouldn't be happening. Just to finish that point off, they won, I think, 2 full ecos, Matt, there, G2.
Yep, which is, again, going back to FaZe's problems.
That's like, they're winning the half, right? Oh, sorry, no, G2 winning the half, but I don't know. It felt like FaZe could do a lot more there. That was not good enough. Like, the fact they took so convincing the gun rounds and lose to 2 full ecos. Like, 2 PT-50s, no nades, no armor. That's shocking.
Well, that said, they did win one themselves with the fact that Kerrigan got a plant below, but there's lots of little mistakes. There's lots of highlights as well, and that means we'll be right back to start off our second half of Map 2. It's back into things immediately and straight underway with a second half of Nuke. 9-6 G2. They do manage to win a CT side this time around, but FaZe still in contention for this. They win the pistol. They could easily tie things 9-9, take advantage, and potentially win this series, which I won't call a huge upset. Let's be fair, they're capable, but would be against the odds of prediction.
From what we've seen so far, and from them in this tournament, and what we've seen from G2, you'd assume G2 are the favorites, but you weren't kind of getting on the bandwagon like I was. You were kind of saying, well, wait to the best of threes. And you're right, in a Swiss format, they're going to be stronger, right? They're a bit of an unknown quantity going into this one. FaZe couldn't really
Did you admit that I was right for once, Henry?
Well, I'm just saying, I will admit,
no,
I got caught up in the...
You said it.
Let me finish. Let me finish, and I'll say that obviously in a Swiss format and G2 playing as well as they have, and FaZe looking poor, it's easy to get caught up in the romance of it all these amazing players looking so good, but this is the real test. You're absolutely right. We have to wait until we see them in best of threes before we can make our final judgment on them.
Either way, it's an improvement. I will give them that. There's no question they came into this much better than I expected.
Yeah.
And what maybe we expected to begin with rather than what we've learned of them. But now it's the tough test to close out this game, keep themselves alive to head on to Train Map 3 if we even need it, because FaZe are going to try and win this pistol, tie things up as I mentioned. Good shot from Kerrigan to start it off. Body repeaks, goes into a bullet that was already fired and therefore goes down, but Kenny gets rain. It's going to make things 4 versus 4, minute and 10, and look at Apex. He's already at the heaven position. Alu's aware of it, the fact that they've given up outer, and therefore tries to reoccupy it. I think Apex heard him going up the ladder, therefore backed it off, but look at Nico go. Back towards Squeaky Door, finds Shocks, wrap around, Super Keo, in through the hut bomb down in lobby, and it's just Apex remaining.
Rough round here for G2. They did have this 9-6 lead, but it looks like it's going to be extended. Oh, okay then, Apex. He manages to take down Kerrigan. A chance here as he picks up the silent USP. Can't get the bomb just yet. This should be unwinnable for him, but oh, he finds another kill there. But good crossfires coming in. Kiyoshima finishes off the situation. 9-7. And presumably going to see the force buy coming in from G2 in the second round. No bomb going down.
If FaZe's issue is losing anti-ecos, that's G2's salvation, because that's 4 out of 4 pistols they've lost. FaZe has won all of them.
There you go. But it's so nuts to think that G2 being forced by in the second round, then in the third, they come back and win it with PT50s and USPs. Like, that's happened twice on this map alone. They did it on Inferno as well. FaZe really need to work on that. That's a huge issue for them. But we'll see what happens here. It's up against Tech9s and CZs. No nades. Actually, one smoke. So they've got something to work with, I guess. That smoke can be used to ramp by the looks of things. Apex will be leading the charge. Maybe just want to push through this and see if we get his first fragments of Kerrigan. He's got the FAMAS ready and waiting.
Indeed, Kerrigan. Ooh. Fast shots, but drops off dinked on the way down. Though that's a problem as MBK will swarm him, and now Alu, unable to get to Turnpike in time, has to give up lower. Thankfully, Nico's rotated. Damage is done in substantial amounts, however, not closed out. Finally, Kiyoshima will get body down, but he and Rain are all that remains in a 1 versus 3. No plant yet. Thankfully, Rain is able to get to MBK before that happens. But a little bit over-eager, I think, from Kiyoshima as he walks in to see where the bomb is, and he realizes it's actually in behind the silo, and Apex baits him into it. Door open. We also now know where Rain is. He's going to have to concede the plant, unfortunately. If he commits to trying to deny it, he'll be caught out by Shocks. Shocks on a UMP. Apex has the range advantage on the FAMAS. And Rain's going to walk into a crossfire. There it is. They win the pistol. G2 strikes back immediately. How many times?
Yeah, to be fair, I guess in this sort of round, if there is a force buy from G2, they are known to be very good in it. It's more forgiving than the full eco, but still, Kerrigan, I think he was a bit overcommitted towards the ramp room. His exit plan there wasn't great. He just holding the tight corner. You can see he does get back down, but dinked in the process. The good thing about ramp is when you're playing one CD player there, you spot the long-range angle right actually on the ramp itself, and you can spot in, take a few pop shots, and then fall down and still have time to get back. He had to jump over the railing and gets headshot in the process. If he just falls back and stays alive, they probably win that round. The fact that Kerrigan goes down about anything really, that's a big problem. They go to the force by the FaZe Clan in return. They do tag body up with the scout here. Rain, very good with this weapon. Hits another one as well. That's MBK tagged.
Damage accumulating, and therefore double scout setup.
Yeah.
It worked for G2 on Inferno.
There we go.
It's going to work for Rain to at least get Apex down. He's got to be careful, though, because he's tagged up down to 16 HP. A repeat would be costly, and Alu's going to be found. So the first of the 2 scouts down, the second one severely weakened, hindered, thwarted on his aggression. As Kenny's going to round onto his position, it should be a straight-up kill for Kenny, but he's tagged. So now the pistols start to matter. Nico arrives with his deagle, has to back off, tries to sit for maybe a little bit too long to hit the shot onto Shocks, and therefore goes down.
Now it is an interesting situation. Body and Kenny S on sub 30 HP. They've got the man advantage, but Kiyoshima is looking to take that down. He finds Body, and now it's a 2-on-2. Just like that, the bomb dropped as well.
Bomb drop is the important aspect, because that means Kerrigan knows he can start to try and get back into the outer position. He's got to be a little bit careful, though, because he's giving up big garage. And Kenny does have an AK from that range. CZ, don't fancy it. So Kerrigan's going to back off. If Nico had even done more damage to Shocks in that exchange, then we'd have a real interesting situation on our hands.
Well, Kenny S has got the bomb. He's heading towards lower at this point. We should probably check in with him. There we go. He'll get an easy plant here. No CD presence whatsoever. Just trying to bait out the player in dark spot potentially here.
Wow. Shox almost does get caught trying to get information. He'll get the kill onto Kiyoshima. Goes to 50. Chance for Kerrigan, but a very tight choke point in Vents to re-enter from. Makes a lot of noise. Does manage to still get Shox, though. He's on 46. He's got the high rolling HP as Kenny's only on 26. Armor, door open, AK picked up. He knows he's behind the silo. Flash comes out, he's tagged him. He sprays down, and Kerrigan responds immediately for FaZe.
Kerrigan loving it. He's in the 2 versus 1 of the CZ. Rushes down Shoxy towards Deco room as well, and Kenny S tries to slow him down with the flashbang at this point. Gives his position away by facing, and didn't really have time to fall back to a different position. And the CZ, or just the AK, pushes him down. Just he pulls out his AK as well, and there will be a full defuse. So a rough round there for G2. They give away an anti-force by at this point. The double scout setup of FaZe working tremendously well there, doing so much damage at the start of the round, not necessarily finding a ton of kills, but inflicting wounds towards G2's side. And then at that point, Kiyoshima stepping out the deagle, giving Kerrigan at least a winnable situation. It's going to be 10-8 and a force buy for G2 as well. They get the bomb down here. It's actually quite a strong force buy. You can see the AWP for Kenny S and 2 AKs. MBK and Apex down to the pistols here. Kiyoshima gets ready towards the hub. He's got the Mag 7 in hand.
Kenny will be tagged slightly and have to change his angle so he can't quite see into a main, but he's on 52. However, Kiyoshima has already started it with the Mag 7 to take MBK. He'll play on top of Hut with a shotgun. It's not the auto, it's not the alligator. It is still effective, as to his Rain on his UMP to find Shox. 2-man advantage now. Yes. Kerrigan getting that clutch as well. That's going to be decent for him, considering how close he came to getting a pretty brilliant rotation clutch in the first one. How has that happened? Nico completely unaware that Apex has walked out from Squeaky, and he gets 2 as a result. Kiyoshima should have been watching that, and they both got caught looking the wrong direction.
He must have looked away for a second or we flashed. I have no idea how he got out so convincingly, and Kiyoshima not to be aware. Still a 3-on-3. The bomb will be planted, though. Rain locked out by the smoke. Same story towards Heaven as well. Alu, he needs to be the difference maker here, but Kenny S is waiting for him with the AWP. Perfect position, but he does look away momentarily.
Nico's going to be rather bothered by that. Kerrigan from above. One directly below, needs to check it as he continues to walk out. Meanwhile, he does get body. Kenny's going to try and hold off Rain. Jumping. Ooh, stops up the jump. That throws Kenny off, but not the no-scope. And it's down to another 1 versus 1. 1 HP as well. The nade, oh, it bounces the wrong way. Bounces the wrong way, and Apex hits the shot with 1.
The nade would have done it. It just had to be within 5 meters of him. He'd be absolutely fine, but that little nudge, that little knob on the wall, I guess you can call it, that actually is such a problem for a lot of players. It's so annoying with the HE grenade, and it just hits it, and the nade doesn't reach round. 1 HP.
That's ridiculous.
And the thing is, well, the fact he threw the nade, he has that reset time before getting the M4 out. That's the play that takes him down. So he could have won in the round, and in fact loses it for him as well. Good Lord.
And the nade did explode before the kill came in, so it's not like it would have been from the grave, bomb still planted, T's win. It just straight up missed. Kerrigan gets behind the smoke.
Is this a full commitment from FaZe?
Ridiculous game as well, in the fact that we're seeing these rounds.
They've gone all in here, so they've got Deagles and the Scouts with body armor. And this could mean G2 getting back into this. FaZe, after winning the pistol, looking strong, but consistently losing to these pistols, and see what happens. Rain does find the first Deagle shot. Kerrigan, he'll be dropping down after spotting a couple of players towards ramp.
Kerrigan does find one on the CZ. Gets away for free as well. Going to try and track him down. Shox will pre-fire the corner on the Mac 10. Good enough. And he gets his op toward the site. Nico avoids death the first time and refuses to shoulder peek the safe side as he tries to spray through and catch Kenny. Sees him shoulder peeking finally, but no exchange. Still, though, it's an advantage for FaZe because body has been found in the meantime. We'll force them to regroup and reconsider. Hole blown in through the door. G2 still trying to hold on to take control of this game. Kiyoshima sees the door open to get through, tries to go back with the Deagle. MBK trying to set and hit the shot with the Galil, manages to do so before a headshot is able to land from the Deagle. And Kenny's going to watch the vent with an AWP. A little gopher hole by which both players want to try and re-enter. Careful, team. Kenny's only on 18.
That's true. Well, now it's just up to Alu and Nico. Bomb will be planted. They haven't got kids. They've got a smoke to work with. But I think this round, after the full investment, they might want to save the AK-47 and see what they decide to do. Alu's going to have at least an exploration towards heaven and see if he can find one frag, but I think he has to submit at this point and fall back.
Alu still considers his chances.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a full commitment. He just wants economic damage at this point. Exit kills and, yeah, back off.
Decent effort, but he'll be saving that AK towards CT spawn. Same story for NiKo. He's got the scout, but he'll be taken down by Kenny S. The pistols have been pretty monstrous this game, I have to say. It was Rain to open things up with that Desert Eagle and make things a little bit problematic. A lot of damage inflicted towards G2 as well, but they're starting to get quite a substantial lead now as we go forward. They have got only second stage loss bonus here. So not really much you can do in terms of the buy after that full investment in the previous. They did get an AK picked up, that's for Alu. At 12-8, looking to be 13. G2 might have been let back into this series.
12-8, and money not great for FaZe is G2's best chance to put this perhaps out of reach.
Yeah, so they haven't invested into this round. Alu with the AK, but 4 players towards outside. A nice, quick, clean round. Kenny S protecting his teammates as they go towards Secret by the looks of things, and Shoxy holding the lobby.
Rain will try to get himself in a position with that USP to get headshots. Trade back. Alu still manages. They're going to push immediately through. Kiyoshima's grabbed a MAC-10 and rounds through to clear out Squeaky Door. X as well has gone all the way through, though, despite that they take over lobby toward the ramp room. And it's Kerrigan that waits down below to greet him, or potentially just be caught off entirely. And he is indeed. Apex finds the shot on the AK. Alu's picked up an AK, or rather carried it still, so likely wants to save it again.
Well, this round should be over, you're absolutely right. Alu looking to save, so Kiyoshima's got nothing, but he does get a headshot towards Kenny S, but that's going to be it. Body finds a final frag. 13-8 comes in, and we should be getting a decent buy overall now, full FaZe. Not sure they can get the AWP, they certainly can't. Alu has to be down to the rifle once again. Didn't slow him down in Inferno. We'll see whether he can step up here.
He's going to need to do something. Lost that AK-47 so nearly they took the op out of Kenny's hands. I doubt it would have been saved anyways. We saw how quickly they swarmed onto the position outer.
Rough round here for FaZe. No incendiaries to work with. One kid as well. It looks like a fast play from Kenny S towards Squeaky Door, trying to find that first pick. Doesn't get anything just yet. As he'll actually commit as well with his teammates. Smoke towards main entrance, but Kiyoshima stepping out tremendously with the M4.
Much needed at this point in time. Swings out a third. Takes the bomb down. Good headshot. NiKo gets NBK, and it's on to Shox. And a 1 versus 5. All 5 staying alive is going to be big for FaZe as well. It's only 3 rounds, but still resets of any amount at this point are going to be significant, especially with G2 on 13. So great round from FaZe.
Kiyoshima was more or less alone in that upper position at that point. It was a very simple execution with G2. They knew the money was going to be low for FaZe. They tried to just go in, walk through Squeaky Door, contact play, smoke main, and explode. Kiyoshima, such crisp aim there as well. Just locking 3 of them down, securing the round for his teammates. And as you said, 5 players surviving means they get a decent buy here, and this map is not over yet, thanks to that round alone. And it's going to be G2 taking a pause at this point, just slowing things down. They do have money available. Kenny S with just under 8K, same story for MBK as well. So their money's in a decent position. Apex, just a note, 25 kills for him in 22 rounds. That's not bad at all.
Pretty sick. It's a good note to make. Playing extremely well for G2. Shox as well has arrived, as you mentioned in the last game. He was a bit absent. He's got 21, Kenny's on 19. It's back to that team game we saw from G2 throughout the group stages.
Yeah, it's better.
It's also better for FaZe, to be fair, because it's not just NiKo running away. Everyone, in fact, frag distribution goes from 17, NiKo is at the top, to 13 for Rain. Everyone's in between that small range.
Well, here we go. Full buy for both sides here. Alu on the CT side with the AWP. And G2 setting up for some smokes towards outside. They do get flashed off. And Rain will be waiting in garage as well. Alu will be towards more of the heaven position, defensive at least. And his body sprays down any sort of ramp pushing coming in, but 1 minute 30 mark. No real indication as to where G2 will finish up at this point. Kenny is trying to get that first pick. Wait for the smoke to go down and see if he can find something towards main entrance.
Shocks goes. Molotov corner. Can't find the entrance this time. Kiyoshima off angle. Drops down. Finds another. No! It looked like another triple. I was going to say no way for Kiyo, but he does more than enough. And once again, they just walk into a grinder. And now it becomes an issue because G2, they could force in this round, but it's desperate if they do.
Absolutely. Another very basic upper execution there. There's trying to throw Shocks out there, the monster, and see, could you just go find 2 frags or smoke main for you with 1 flashbang? And Kiyoshima just completely locks him down with 2 frags. And like you said, it almost looked like 3, but the AWP had to back him up. So that was very comfortable for FaZe.
So medium force onto Tech 9s, which means they leave themselves at about 2K and they'll be fine in the next round.
It's okay. So it's not going all in as such, but still a dangerous round for FaZe. They've been getting locked down by pistols consistently. So not out of the woods just yet.
They're going to make it by the wall of smokes to the secret position. One thing I've noticed on those 2 upper ticks as well is no utilization of the skylights, which is something G2 used to do quite frequently on those takes.
Yeah, they're very basic takes. Just trying to surprise and overwhelm any CT that might have a knife out or an ADA or something like that. And it hasn't really been working out for them. Kiyoshima very aware as to what's going on, but it's Rain this time. He doesn't want to lose the pistols again. He finds the first kill, but Apex, he's getting close. He's looking dangerous with the Tech 9, trying to do some damage here. Gets 1, looking for the second as well. Can't find it. That should be the round secured now for FaZe.
Starting to roll late. G2, Shocks, Tech 9 outside of the vents will try and get back in the position to hold off the bomb that's planted. They give themselves a chance as well because Shocks actually does manage to get Kiyoshima down, and NBK's position could entirely catch off Nico. What a response. Snaps over and tears his head off. And Shocks left in the 1 versus 3. Door open at decontamination. He can peek immediately. That's better than a door closed. It's a smoke off. He'll try and push through instead. Sneak in. Denies the plant, or excuse me, the defuse. The reverse of plant.
Oh, isn't.
And no kit. Okay, he's got one on the other side.
Close.
Yeah, good read and react to realize it was there. That could have easily been a mistake.
That's why it's quite cool we've got the timer in that instance. I can actually read it straight away, right? It's obviously quite exciting, but the fact he gets off it, picks up the kit, and you can see he's just got it in time. That was actually quite a nice demonstration how that can be beneficial for the viewers. That was a little bit of a tense moment for Ali there. If he didn't notice the kit was there, or was a little bit further away, that can be disastrous, and Shocks would have done enough there. But the pistols don't work out this time. They get the bomb down and make it a close round at least, but it's going to be 13-11 as FaZe tighten the gap here. Round number 25. KennyS back on the AWP. After the partial bite, they haven't got a tremendous amount to work with in terms of utility, but fast play towards outside. Rain waiting for them. Has the M4 locked and loaded towards the garage position. Good nade coming in as well. Going to do considerable damage there to Apex and Shocks, but can't find a frag just yet. Fast play from G2 here.
Yeah, very fast. Again, they get to lower. Rotations downward. Kerrigan the first to arrive. Nico's still on hut and doesn't want to approach the vents because he knows they're likely fortifying them from below. So it's a retake before the bomb's planted. Before the bomb's planted, ooh, Kerrigan nearly denies that. But they do get it down inside of the smoke. He does somewhat significant damage. We'll see if that plays into it or not because it's still a 4 versus 4 and they're both 50 HP. As Kiyo's going to flash himself down. Try and drop in, get the shot. Gun barrel shows, but it doesn't even matter. Kenny looks for the second, but Nico's able to trade as he follows in the footsteps of his teammate. And then he's going to try and pursue further, but Shocks is there to hold it off. Now the advantage for G2. Bomb planted, they'll hold it off, 14th round. And they get that much closer to closing this out.
Very swift there by G2, fast towards Secret as well. And Shoxy, he's holding lobby as usual, and he gets down the vent somehow, undetected, and he can actually call for his teammates. You can go plant lower. This is absolutely fine. Molotov towards the ramp position, and you'll get yourself a free round. Kerrigan, he got towards the dark spot and lower, which made things interesting. If he denies that plant, maybe his teammates have a chance. He sprays through the smoke, actually lands a few bullets, but can't do it. And at that point, taken down, and the retake not possible for FaZe. Still, plenty of money available for the CT side at this point. G2 now in touching distance of finding match point. 14-11. Alu, though, with the AWP towards outside, and KennyS waiting for him to maybe peek towards Silo here. He has a better angle and gets it, but can't nail the shot. Very difficult. About a couple of pixels there to work with.
Nico, massive gap in the door, will spot NBK through it. Kenny, meanwhile, AWP back toward the other position, but Nico's actually started off. He gets NBK. Must have been back through the doorway. Flashes onto Alu, won't allow him to keep the scope focused upon the rapid main, and they're actually going to push through that. Kenny and Shocks are turning things around. G2 again with a lead. And Alu can't do anything about the wrap toward Turnpike, toward Hell. Kiyoshima, however, does have the bomb at lobby. They're going to try and retake it. Grab the bomb again. Body baits it out with a good shoulder peek. And this could be map point to tie the series.
indeed. 4-on-2 now. Nico and Rain, though, probably the deadliest players within the team now. Just Nico as Apex finds Rain. It's going to take an amazing round here from Nico to have any chance to do anything in this one. He's on 41 HP, got a couple of flashbangs to work with. Should get his kill on Apex, but he protects himself by adjusting his position. There it is. Nico does get taken down in the end. 15-11. Looks like map 3 could be very possible here, as we do find a match point in FaZe with almost no money for this final round. It's going to be Scouts, CZs, UMPs. Not much to work with at all. And I think if you go back to Matt, those 2 or 3 full eco rounds they lost to is going to come back and haunt them. They were looking like the better team overall.
Well, and the fact that they can't convert pistols into a 3-round spread. They've won 4, and yet they find themselves in the back foot getting eco twice in this game.
Yeah, it's not looking too good now. This should be it. G2 have ever time to close out a series. This would be the one. And towards outside they go. Good decision. Good, decent flashbangs as well. FaZe have to hit some amazing headshots with this scout, but don't think it's going to be possible.
Shot through from Rain, does tag Apex, but through the edge of the wall, it won't do significant or full damage. The scout is capable of delivering. Shocks will get him down as a result. Ali will allow them to wrap around with the CZ. Could actually reverse flank this. Go back through Big Garage. Catch them off, but Body's ready for it. MBK, Nico, this is it. This is done. Kerrigan 1 versus 5. We're going to map 3. It's going to be Train for G2 to try and make a comeback in the series, or FaZe to hold on and escape defeat. Because this one's done. G2 hold on, and they need pistols, so we'll see if that's something they can get on Train as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So G2 do bounce back after getting battered on Inferno, I have to say. They're starting to wake up now. Some of the key players, as we talked about in the pregame, Shocks had to arrive, which he certainly did, especially in the first half, looking much better. They actually won 9-6 as well. But Matt, as I just said, you have to say FaZe, this lapse of concentration they have, this interesting approach they have to anti-eco situations, not even difficult to read, full eco situations, and they're splitting up and maybe overthinking them, overcomplicating them, and managing to give those really key rounds away. Against a team like G2, if you give too many of those away, they're going to punish you for it, and now we are going to map 3, which, to be fair, I do favour G2 in going forward.
I think I do too. I think this is their chance back into this series, and FaZe missed a big opportunity with some of the mistakes that they made in this game. So we'll see if that's true or not. Train to decide. Great map for both teams, in my opinion. Good leveler in this best of 3. We'll head to the desk, and we'll be back in no time.